For the past few years, so many fans have been extremely critical of Marvel and the direction they've been heading with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, both with their massive blockbusters, well, at least movies that have blockbuster-type budgets like $250, $300 million, but also with all these Disney Plus series that have been churned out that just seem to get worse and worse. But it wasn't until the massive flop of the Marvels that even the mainstream media and Disney themselves were forced to admit reality, that the MCU is failing and has been for quite some time. And as Bob Iger is forced to respond to yet another Disney quarter where things didn't exactly go the way they thought, the stock plummeted immediately after that. And he said once again, for probably the third or fourth time over the past 12 months, that Marvel really needs to focus on making better movies and less of them. Now, when he says that we're going to make less movies, less TV series, he's still talking about a shit ton of things, like 2 or 3 movies a year and 2 Disney Plus shows. That's still a lot of Marvel content, especially when what's coming out is absolute dog shit. But now finally, we're hearing a little bit of an admission from Kevin Feige that yes, indeed, despite the mainstream media trying to protect Marvel, and despite them themselves up to like 6 months ago pretending like everything was A-okay, that is not the reality. Kevin Feige admits Marvel's failures and plans to exceed expectations in 2024. Well, if you want to surprise people and exceed expectations, I guess there's nothing better to do than to have a disastrous fucking 2023 with failure after failure, flop after flop. Makes it a little bit easier when everyone just expects you to fail. But nevertheless, they are finally answering directly to some of those criticisms. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige and co-president Luis Despacito have acknowledged the problems with MCU projects in recent years. The two admitted that Marvel had diluted itself in its plan to expand and have suggested countermeasures to fix things in the future. And it does kind of always go back to that. It's not like, no, we're just trying to push all these characters that nobody gives a fuck about. We're trying to make sure we get over 50% of the villains and heroes to be women like they admitted a couple years ago. It always goes back to, we just tried to make too much stuff and we overextended ourselves. That must be the only reason why these things are dog shit, but that is the excuse they're going with once again, while acknowledging that there have been some severe problems with the way people have reacted to Marvel movies. In an interview with Empire, Despacito mentioned that taking the hit was almost necessary for them. If we just stayed on top, that would have been the worst thing that could have ever happened to us. We took a little hit and we're coming back strong. We learned our lesson. Maybe 2 to 3 films a year and 1 or 2 shows, as opposed to 4 films and 4 shows. Yeah, I don't know if that's all it's going to take. Snap your fingers, make a little bit less, and all of a sudden you're going to make good shit, because for the past several years, there's been a clear agenda like taking place at Disney in general, but also at Marvel with the characters they're pushing and that they're trying to make popular that just has not fucking worked, that fans have rejected time and time again. But here's the direct quotes from Kevin Feige as well. For Marvel boss Kevin Feige, he's seen the positive side of the MCU being on the back foot again. After all, back in phase 1, that's exactly where they began. Quote, "It's nice to be able to rally behind one feature project this year," he tells Empire. "I'm much more comfortable being the underdog. I prefer being able to surprise and exceed expectations. So it does seem like last year, which has not been ideal, has set us up well for that." Yeah, I guess when you have the biggest flop in the history of the MCU, the worst performing movie ever, and the one that ended up losing you the most money because of the massive, insane fucking budget. Yeah, I guess that does set up, even if Marvel, or even if Deadpool and Wolverine, right? Even if that movie, which I've been very consistent, I think it's going to perform really well. Is an R-rated movie going to crack $1 billion? That question's certainly up in the air. We haven't seen it too many times in the past, but who knows what the budget is on that thing? That's the important part. If this is one of those budgets that's, again, $300 million or something insane, then you're talking about setting yourself up to basically hit $900 million at the box office just to break even. And we'll see what ends up happening. We'll see what that final budget actually is. But yes, after the miserable fucking failure of the Marvels, I guess just breaking even would be considered exceeding expectations for you at this point in time. But we finally heard, like, tangibly from them that yes, they're acknowledging that they have fucking failed. They're trying to basically say, well, we overextended ourselves, blah, blah, blah. We'll make a little bit less and everything will be fine. Way more things have to change at Marvel than just make one less movie and show a year and all of a sudden they're golden. But What do you think about Kevin Feige and everybody else at Disney and Marvel acknowledging that Marvel has a real fucking problem and that they need to change their ways? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.